shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. They'll start this drive out on the ground. He did a nice job to spin out of that first wave, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now Geno. That one complete to Trey Tucker. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap, jump too quickly.
So the penalty erases their earlier loss. Now it's 2nd and 8. Smith now to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 41, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing is Smith. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they were very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Geno. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Jackson from the shotgun. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Jackson being chased out left. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. A gain of 4, not enough, and it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's fourth down.
Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know what's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time, and I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try and match his athleticism.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Geno now to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's 3rd and a few inches.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there, threw it behind him. Henry out of the pistol. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way. Well, now what do? Do you run it again? Didn't have success there, or do you throw it?
Yeah, I think in play action right now. Fake it and get a quick pass to your favorite receiver and just try and gain some yardage and help out your punter.
On 3rd down, Henry. And he's able to get this up just shy of the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. 1st down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
In motion, right goes Hopkins.
Play action. Now Jackson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Now it's Jackson.
A short throw caught by Andrews. And Andrews going to have a Ravens first down as he's got it up to the 28-yard line.
At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Back to the ground now. It's Henry.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson.
A short throw caught by Andrews.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. That's going to be caught. It's Jacoby Myers. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
This is all about finding the open space in the middle of the field. How do you do that? One way is through play action. That's going to freeze those linebackers for just a split second, and sometimes that's all you need. They run a deep in route behind them, and it works to perfection.
Here's a handoff out of the gun to the 43, 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
2nd and 7.
Play action. It's Smith. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play levers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense.
We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage.
No score after 1 on EA Sports.
Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming.
Flowers going to go in motion right. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out, would not allow him to cut upfield.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it again with Henry.
They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Off the option, here's Henry.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's 2nd and 10. Flowers going to go in motion right.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. They go play action with Jackson. And the Raiders have got him. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead them to 4th down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Smith.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Oh, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. That's complete into the hands of Myers. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Now it's Smith. Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Just beating the play clock, Smith. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6.
To the air again, Smith. In trouble, and he's taken down.
Kyle Hamilton running up from his safety spot and earning the sack. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
The veteran Kyle Van Noy in there to drop him. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They've been playing the field position game thus far. No score, 2nd quarter as they come up on 1st and 10. They begin with Henry. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
It's complete to Hopkins. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Jackson to throw.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Here's Jackson.
That is caught. Rashad Bateman.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown.
Rashad Bateman.
52 yards.
And the Ravens post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter.
Well, the game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the 1st quarter. But in the 2nd quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
To throw is Smith. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Give them 12 yards that time and a Las Vegas first.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
That's caught by Myers.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you
think,
mean by that?
he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And this was a little bit of the knock on him coming out of college. Sometimes the concentration could wander a bit. This should have been a big play, but somehow he's not able to corral it.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens 41. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas first down.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
Now a quick throw out wide to Myers.
So no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Geno. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And the Raiders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Here's Smith. And that's going to be incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
Here's Smith. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
Now Smith on 3rd and goal. Flush to his right. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Fourth down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. The kick by Carlson is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. And the tight end goes in motion left. Jackson now. They set up the screen for Henry. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
2 yards on the pickup there, and that's going to bring up second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football, and that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. And Jackson throwing once more. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll also wind up being the final play of this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter.
Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A third down now, and those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
And this is into the hands of Andrews downfield.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route well run, and the football right on the money.
So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Jackson, options out left.
The quick feet by Jackson. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Call it an even 20 yards on the pickup. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Only gets a yard, but it's enough to set him up 1st and goal.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Henry will take this into the end zone. It's a Ravens touchdown.
You think back to some of the great goal line bruisers of the past, the Earl Campbells, the John Riggins, the Marshawn Lynches. I think you can put Derrick Henry right in that group as he scores their patented Derrick Henry run.
Now the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
48 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Now Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Back to throw, Smith.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Throwing is Smith.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
And he's taken down inside the 30. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
Oh, that's a nice job of clearing space in the middle of the field for your tight end. He's going to start behind the line and run an angle route, hoping to kind of get lost in the middle of the field. And this is put right on him, and he's able to pick up a first down.
They'll fake it. Now Smith.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trenton Simpson. And the Ravens are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
A first down carry for Henry. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Tyree Wilson getting back there in a hurry and handing him a loss.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Jackson from the shotgun. Throw left side complete. That's Hill. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Jackson, options out left.
Past the 20. And all the way down to the 7-yard line.
A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. What a run there. I mean, you've got speed, elusiveness, escapability, all rolled into one.
And we all know that quarterbacks are coached. They get the ball to the guys who can do all the things you just described. You want those guys who have speed, elusiveness, and escapability all rolled into one with the ball in their hands, and guess what? It's him. So there's no sense in throwing it or handing it off when you can do all of that yourself.
He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Derrick Henry with now his second touchdown of this third quarter, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
And you can forgive this defense just a bit here. They know how dangerous Lamar Jackson is running the football. Stopping him is in many ways a prime concern. So here, they're late to react to the handoff on the option, and it costs them as this winds up a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Trenton Simpson, well, he just flew in there to drop him.
There's a reason inside linebackers are often captains of a defense. They call the signals. They have the opportunity to affect the game in coverage, against the run, and, of course, on blitzes. Living in the best of both worlds here. Already has an interception. Now he gets to record a sack, too.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35.
66 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we use the term pitch and catch a lot to denote an easy completion. We just saw one right there on 3rd and 3 to pick up the first down.
Why are those so tough to defend? Just because they hit so quickly?
Yeah, it's all about timing and confidence. Quarterback sees it, rips it, there you go.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack.
And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the fourth. Smith. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6. And now it's 3rd and 3. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now Smith. Now they go screen. It's complete. That he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here we go on 4th. Smith. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48.
He'll start with a give to Henry.
And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. Hustling through to break that play up, Max Crosby.
So 4th quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
Oh, the motion comes too late, and this is going to be a delay.
Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. After the penalty, it's Henry. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Geno now to throw.
Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno.
Very quick throw. He's got Myers.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Out of the gun, Smith.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution. Even though the scoreboard is going against you, you want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 35. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra hut, you know, that extra emphasis on it, got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Smith now to throw.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Here's a give up the middle. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
7 yards left for 2nd down. Ball at the 10.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. Touchdown!
Trey Tucker.
A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Raiders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it makes the score 21-10. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. A lane opens here. He's past the 30.
And they're going to have terrific field position as they finally get to him, but just shy of the midfield stripe. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now it's Jackson. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. From the gun, Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 times and 8 chances. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay.
Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback, as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there, because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
Bad time to get a delay of game penalty there. Not that there's a good time, but that makes it 3rd and 6.
Flowers going to go in motion right.
To throw is Jackson.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
The Ravens send their punter out now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Smith. Open man is Myers. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, they'll try and run for it on the draw. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play. The job 1 to pick up the 1st down is complete. That was a big 3rd down conversion, but they got to watch the clock. It's starting to become their enemy a bit here in a 2-score game.
Which means they have to pick up the pace, right? The tempo has to be upped. And what they do is they tell the quarterback in his helmet, hey, listen, when we pick up the 1st down here, tell everyone we're going. We're moving now to 2-minute offensive phase, and everyone on the bench area, they're waving them along too. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40.
89 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. They'll try and run for it.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down. I love those plays. 4th and 1. That's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done. Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Now 2nd and 4.
Now Gino. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete.
And he'll get this forward only for about a yard, as that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning.
Smith.
That is caught.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 29-yard line. Of course, remember, you need a touchdown here and a field goal.
Doesn't matter the order, but they have to get it done and get it done fast.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10. It gets it right back to Mayer.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
Here's 1st and goal. Smith to throw.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
A little less than 90 seconds to go. This will be an onside kick. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3 and out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
They got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Throwing now is Jackson. Oh, no, he lost the football.
And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself.
So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Well, taking that knee, maybe just a sigh of relief. They withstood a big 4th quarter comeback. Able to hold on, though.
Certainly looked like they had things going their way, didn't it? And in the 4th quarter, they had to just hold on. As you said, furious assault on them, but they were able to get it done, take a knee, and head to the locker room with a win.
A couple more minutes, and maybe the outcome of this one, Charles, would have been different. But ultimately, time runs out on the comeback, so it falls short. And they hold on to win this by just 1 possession.
Not the 4th quarter they wanted, but they did earn the win, and they'll be happy about that, and they should be. Now they're going to go back to practice, see what they can do to prevent a future lead from slipping away like this one was.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports.
With that, we say so long from Las Vegas.